Tara Lynn with 5 Acres Honey Farm. Over the past year, I've started to create my own cleaning products, both for cost savings, but mainly for having less of a negative environmental impact and less of an impact on having exposure to, any toxic substances just, exposed to ourselves. If you keep bees or if you garden, you probably have an environmental mindset as well. I'm going to share with you a recipe that a friend shared with me last spring, and I finally worked my way through whatever conventional products that I had left laundry wise. Last summer I made this recipe and the detergent has lasted until now, and it's the second week of March. And her recipe creates 5 gallons of laundry detergent, but she has a large family, and here it's just my husband and I. And although I love doing laundry, I really, really do. I genuinely love doing laundry. I don't use nearly as much laundry as my friend does, who, she has 4 children. So what I do is I half the recipe. And the other reason I do this is because I don't want to lift a 5-gallon bucket of detergent. I can't even imagine how heavy that is. And I like doing this half recipe, and I have a little 1 gallon or 2 gallon bucket that I keep it in. So I'll show you how I do this. Right, the full recipe calls for a full bar of laundry soap. And I looked on Etsy and I found this. It's made by someone, the Chloe Mason Soap Company. And I liked the ingredients that she used, very minimal. And she's based out of Texas. I would prefer to use somebody who's local to me, but I haven't found anybody who is local, who is making things along these lines. So if I do, then that would be like my next step to kind of improve my sourcing. The other ingredients are borax powder and washing soda. And the first step for this recipe is to grate a bar of the soap, the laundry soap, and then put it in a pot with about 2 quarts of water and bring it to a boil. So instead of having a full bar, because I used half a bar last summer, I've got the remaining half a bar, and I'm going to grate this and get it in the pot. Right now I'm bringing 2 quarts of water to a boil on the stove. And once it comes to a boil, I'm going to add this grated soap, and then we'll start adding our last 2 ingredients. All right, my water has come to a boil, and now I'm about to add all of the soap that I grated, and then I've already blended together, actually I've almost finished here. I did a 1/4 cup of the borax and a 1/2 cup of the washing soda. And I put them in a bowl here so that way it'll make it easier for me to add it in. I'm going to just add the soap in. And once it dissolves, then the borax powder and washing soda go in. And it's good to use a big pot because once I add the next ingredients, it could potentially bubble over a little. So having the extra space helps prevent that from happening. So this looks pretty dissolved to me. Now just add in the rest. And once this is blended, which will be in a few seconds, then you can just hold it under the tap for some hot water and fill it up. And then you can dump it into whatever container you plan on using. So I'm going to bring the bucket over and put it in there. All right, I've got this set up at the sink, just some hot water, and I'm just gonna fill this bucket up to where I want it. This is a 2-gallon bucket, and it happens to be food grade, but it doesn't need to be food grade, whichever container you prefer. And this is the hottest water. So I am going to fill this up a little bit more, and then that way it'll be closer to the top. And then you just let it sit for 24 hours and it kind of gels together. And then you use a half a cup per load. And then you don't have to make not dishwasher, but you don't have to make laundry detergent for at least 6 months, possibly a year, depending on how often you are using detergent, and you also won't need to buy any. Alright, so like I said, you let it sit for 24 hours and then you can start to use it. I like to use the spin top because it's easy to open and close while I'm doing laundry. I realized I forgot to say goodbye. So thanks for watching, and if you make your own detergents and soaps and things, let me know.